Big bluegills, big bluegills, big bluegills. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to do this really, really quick here because I think it's supposed to get windy today. I get my days mixed up. Either way, water's flat, calm. I'm going to go run around this lake real quick this morning. Those of you guys that have been around, I've actually been on this lake a billion different times, but it's got some giant bluegill in it. So first things first this morning, I need to go see if I can get my hands on some 10-inch bluegills. Yeah, that's the goal today, 10-inch bluegills. If I get a 10-incher, you guys have to like and comment below what your biggest bluegill is. I think I've asked this before, but it's just sad. It's only like 10 of you guys have commented, and I know hundreds and thousands of you guys actually fish for bluegills because you guys like these videos. So comment below. I really want to know like what your biggest bluegill is and like what state you're in. You don't have to tell me what body of water it is. I just want to know what state has like the biggest bluegills in it. I'm just gonna probably, once I can afford to, I'd like to go travel around and find me some true freaks of the world. In the state of Wisconsin, anything over 10 inches is big and anything over a pound is big. So that's my goal. But I want to know what your goals were, and yeah, if you caught anything giant, let me know. All right, wish me luck. Okay, I'm gonna try and keep this extremely simple today. See if these guys are in the right pattern. Do half of a red worm on a little chartreuse jig. Just kind of cast it out, let it fall. If they're on the right pattern, should be able to find a couple of them fairly quick this morning. We'll see. I've made the mistake of thinking it was going to be easy before. But I don't think it should be too hard, but then again, I've had miserable days. So if you guys aren't seeing this, it's because I've had a miserable day. Unless you guys want to see me have miserable days. But basically just gonna cruise around. I'm kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so not very deep water. What is that? It feels really big. Is that a... There's no way. The thing is pulling, it's pulling drag. Oh, yeah, that's it's not a bluegill. I think I've ran into more of these this year than I have any year in the past. The moment when you get excited and you're like, yeah, finally found one. And then it turns out to be a sheephead. Yeah, that's happened a lot this year. I'm okay with it because it's starting to catch fish. That means I'm on the right track. Got him. Ooh, there's a lot of eaters in here. Need to be a little bit bigger than that. Ooh, that feels like a better one. I need to measure this thing. I think that's like a 7. Be a perfect eater. Get an idea for these guys. Oh, he's right at 8. A little bit thicker, and gonna be eating bluegill for dinner. How big are you? Man, they are all right in that range. I almost never catch these out here, which it's good to see, but 7.5. Well, I wasn't recording, but all you got to do apparently is say you're going to start eating them and the giants will show up. This has got to be close to 10. 9.5. Just a little too big to keep to eat. But we're on the right track for a monster for the day. Let's see if we get the next one on film. Pretty sure there's just a bunch of schools hanging around on this wind-blown side. When they school up, they're always feeding. Oh, there's a bite already. Almost all species of fish will congregate on a wind-blown side of the lake. So basically, I've just been searching the whole wind-blown side of the lake this morning and finally ran into a school of them, which I am very happy for. Like I said, I wouldn't mind getting like 10 to 12 of them to eat if I'm finding the like 8.5, 9 inchers. Usually I don't run into those out here, so I'm really excited about that. There we go. Is that another giant? Oh, not a giant, but might be an eater. Not quite built right. I kind of have like a standard set in my head for if I'm going to eat bluegills. Another good one. Those of you guys wondering why my drag's so loud with bluegills, it's because I have 4-pound test, and in case I hook into something a little bit bigger, I always keep it just a little bit looser. All right, let's try to find a giant. Man, I think they're all over here. Just had to stay persistent. I'm glad that I didn't give up. All right, come here. Oh, that might be a big male. Yeah. Oh, no. I think that's just a giant fat female. Let's see how big she is. Just under 9 inches. So what I do, if you're new here, is if I plan on keeping fish, before I start bleeding them out, I throw them in my net over the side here and try to collect a few. Try to get like 3, 4 of them. I just saw a bite on this rod. Yep. That's awesome. So there's a tip for you guys. If you're drifting along, have a rod over the side of the boat. Make sure you can't get pulled over, but have it about halfway down. That way, if you happen to drift over a school of fish when you're not paying attention, you catch them. It's hard to beat when you're on numbers. Oh, one had it. Wasn't taking the bobber down. Just sitting there with it. Dude, this will never not be fun. Oh, come here. Oh, there's a good one. Oh, that might be a 10-inch male. Very likely. Big 9.5-inch male. Big old ear tab. Those of you guys that are new here and wondering why I keep throwing those giant males back, so the simplest way to put it is those giant males dictate the whole size structure of the bluegill colony. So the more giant males you have, the more the overall size of the fish goes up. So keep those in the water, and then you can keep any size females that you want to keep, but obviously if you got freak genetics, it's still going to help. But yeah, I'm going to look for some more to eat. I'm not mad at catching giants though. Oh, that feels like a good one. Are you big? What's the deal here? Oh, you're like stupid big. Is that my 10 for the day? That might be my 10 for the day. Giant. She's a big one. Big girl. Like I said, big genetics are big genetics. I could eat it, and I don't think it would affect the overall population density one bit, but she's just so big. Yeah, that's almost a, there's a 3/4. Yeah, 9 3/4. Giant female. They get to go free. Oh. And I currently have a fish. So I let the let the 9-inch female, or almost 10-inch female, go. This thing was eaten just under the boat. Two bluegills, one clip. So all I'm doing with this one is about 10 feet away from the boat, and then I'm resting it right there, but I'm making sure that the eyelet is wedged in there so that if anything grabs it, like that one did, they just hook themselves versus steal your rod. Okay, I still have one. I have one in the net that I actually used to scoop that big one still, so try to get a couple more here. That guy almost pulled the rod out of my hand. I wasn't even paying attention. Just kind of jigging it back. Oh my God. Giant male to my giant female. Big old monster. Just nine even, but a giant male nonetheless. That's cool. Okay, of course I wasn't recording again. I just got another 8-incher, so I'm doing 8 to 9 inches. That's I make myself a little bluegill slot, and it works out pretty good. And yeah, helps maintain the fishery. But yeah, I got 2 in there now. Let's see if we can, I'm going to try to get like 10 of them. I think that'd be enough for a good fish fry. Pretty sure one hooked itself underneath the boat here. Come here. Not quite. It worked. Put a tiny little chunk of gulp on here. Am I recording? Okay, I am. I was sick of feeding these guys, so I put a tiny chunk of gulp on there, and there we go. Right size fish. Yeah, 8-incher. That's what I need. So they kept stealing my bait, so I just took the tail off of like a 2-inch gulp minnow. That way they'll still eat it, but at least this way it might last a little bit longer. In fact, I should probably thread that on there. Now that I think about it, because they'll steal this thing too. That feels better. Yep. Because it is. Another big 9-inch female. Last keeper. There we go. That one's pulling drag. Yeah, that one's way too big. And that was recording. That might be my 10. Giant female. Well, I did it. There's your 10-inch bluegill. Happens to be a big fat female too. I'm gonna weigh her really quick. She probably would have been close to 2 pounds had she just been pre-spawn, but we will see. What is that? 1 pound 8 ounces. Not bad for a quick day on the water. She's got some really cool colors too. I love it when they get those bars and stuff like that. All right, this girl gets to go back. Well, I guess I can call today a success. I set out to get a 10-inch bluegill, and yeah, I got one a little bit over. I think I was like 10 1/4. She was a big girl. Was it like 1 pound 4 ounces? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I got dinner. So I kept 5. I don't know if I told you guys that earlier, but I ended up with 5 between 8 and 9 inches. And that's basically kind of how I always do it. If they're 9 inches, you literally only need 5. And then if you really need to like feed a big family or something like that, 10 at like 8.5 inches is plenty. So that's usually what I get into. But I don't know. You guys comment below. I think it was a success. So hit the like button, comment below. If you're new here and you like big bluegills and you just like fishing, subscribe. See you guys next time.